Well, here we are again, folks, in the home of John Renwick, and we're going to look at Altometheus. And this is John on the Bonneville Salt Flats a few years ago, setting the record. And here is the record. And here is John Renwick. Hello, John.
Hello, here we are again.
What have you got to show us today, then?
Well, today it's the land speed machine that was built in 2006-07 to take to Bonneville. And this is a sidecar streamliner, a top-end version of the other machine that we run. So here it is. This is Altometheus 1. I have in fact built two of these machines, but this is the first one. And okay, the rear of the machine, mandatory parachute system here, which is operational by the driver without taking hands off the steering wheel. These doors open, and a pneumatic system opens the doors and shoots a drogue chute out, which pulls the main chute out. In front of that is the fuel tank, which keeps it nicely isolated from the driver and the engine. The rear wheel, of course, is chain driven from the mighty Vincent engine. The Vincent engine is normally aspirated and via the Gardner carburetors. It's running on straight methanol. Going forward, we see the mandatory roll cage system. This is all part of the regulation, the front roll tube and a rear one and a steel cap. That's all protecting the driver's head. Here we see the steering wheel, of course, wheel, handlebars, but it works as a steering wheel, which connects to my own suspension and steering system here, the suspension unit being horizontal. It's, of course, fundamentally as the smallest possible frontal area, because we've quite limited power with the Vincent engine compared with the modern lads with their Japanese multi-cylinder engines that give up to 1,000 horsepower. We're getting by on up to about 180 brake horsepower. But it is quite fast because of its tiny frontal area. It is in fact the smallest one ever made as far as we can establish. It has a total frontal area of 2.36 square feet.
So we've got to squeeze you in there, John?
We've got to squeeze in there, indeed.
Right, and we're going to fire her up on the dyno.
We are going to fire up on my little load test rig. It's not actually a dynamometer, but it does allow me to run the thing on load and drive it through the gears and let us know that all systems are working. Apart from the steering system, of course, we're not going anywhere.
So how do you get it in and out of here?
Well, the building was made specifically to build the thing, and this was just a carport to start with, but I put in the steel beam and the lifting tackle. We simply pick the bike up near its centre of gravity, spin it out, spin it round and out the door. Nice and simple, really.
And there's all the...
They're the skins, if you like,
yep.
Which were all made in this room. Basically, we needed this size of room to be able to make the thing because of its great length. The length is necessary for aerodynamic reasons, of course.
Right, let's fire her up.
Let's fire her up, okay. Yep. So, stage one. Switch on main power system, which pressurises the fuel tank.
Right, so here's Eddie the plumber. Good afternoon, Eddie.
Good afternoon.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, that's not pumping liquid, by the way, that's pumping air into the fuel tank to pressurise it.
Right, that'll pump the fuel up to the
Plumbing's
cupboard.
not necessary there, it's air. It is, of course, a sidecar. One of the fundamental things you didn't mention just now, it is a sidecar, and we are sidecar enthusiasts.
Right.
There's the little wheel hanging on the side. We put the starter on.
Right, here we go, guys.
To the crank, direct on the crank.
Yeah.
We open the throttles, give it a bit of easy start.
Whee.
Like that. And we're ready to go.
That all worked okay. It started up sweetly and run nicely, so now we're going to get the inside there so that we can run it through the gears.
Right.
And that should show more or less how the whole thing works.
Come on then, in you go.
Okay. It does look a bit impossible. Most people say it can't be can't be done, but in fact it's not too much of a problem at all. There we are, we're in.
Okay.
Go!
Well, that worked.
Yes, okay. And I've got to be able to do this in 30 seconds, but with all the canopy on and the belts and the steering system in place, but the regulations say I've got to be able to do that inside 30 seconds, which is the fire protection time for the fire suit. But in fact I've done it in 18 seconds.
Right.
So we should be okay. I don't suppose we'll cook. There we are. Ignition on.
Yeah, we're going.
Go.
That's all right, wasn't it?
Right, well here we are again. What's next then, guys?
Well, we've done enough testing now that as much as we can do here on this static rig, and the next move is Pendine Sands.
And is the plumber coming with you?
Oh yes, indeed.
We can't
What's
go
the date?
anywhere without the plumber. And
22nd, 23rd of June.
that's right.
Brilliant.
The weekend after next.
See you there.
Speed
will.
on the sand.